What's up guys, Misha here from Beyond the Huddle and welcome to another altcoin forecast. And as always, before we get into the altcoins, we'll do a quick recap of what was said in yesterday's Bitcoin video, see how that's developing. And then we'll also talk a little bit about the inflation data that came out this morning for the US. And then we will get into Ethereum with the COT data and the price action. But before we get into all of that, guys, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. And now let's go ahead and get this video started. All right, guys, we are now looking at BTC. Quick recap, as Ralphie mentioned yesterday, we did get the asset manager shorts go below their average, and then that kind of confirmed this bottom here after we had hit the weekly demand and saw an initial rally. We kind of confirmed the low with the asset manager shorts going below average, and then we seen a massive rally, and we're now hitting major resistance, which is the previous quarter's value low, and it is also a weekly supply. Now, this initial drop that you guys saw this morning in almost every single risk asset was on the back of the CPI data that came out this morning for the US. CPI, which is a consumer price index, which measures inflation, and the number was 7.5% year over year inflation, guys. That's a 40-year high, which is crazy. And this is making it more likely that we're going to see a 50 basis point rate hike in March. So definitely something for us to keep in mind, guys. But more importantly, what we're gonna have to pay attention to is tomorrow's COT data. We're gonna have to see whether or not these shorts are gonna stay below the average, which in this case, whatever down move that we're seeing here, we would assume that to be a retracement, maybe down into this daily demand area right here, or maybe back into our monthly level before continuation to the upside right here to the previous year's value area high. However, if we see that shorts have gone back above the average and then we start to break this monthly level and then start to see the longs start to decrease, then this very well could have been a lower high within a bigger downtrend. But we're not going to come to any conclusions now, guys. We're going to let the levels guide us, and we're going to let the asset manager position guide us. So definitely Bitcoin at a key zone at the moment. So with that said, guys, now let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. All right, guys, we are now looking at the Ethereum COT data. And as you guys can see here, the asset manager longs have stayed the same. They stayed at 0. So no movement here. However, their shorts had actually decreased by 28 contracts. So this kept them 100% short. However, their actual number of contracts is actually decreased. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like on the actual charts. All right, guys, so as you all can see here, the positioning is still 100% short, and the shorts are still above their average. So we have not gotten the same type of confirmation that we saw on Bitcoin. So if we look at the last time that we had some type of a confirmation like this on Ethereum, it was around here. And as you guys can see, you didn't get the confirmation until a couple weeks after the bottom was already in. So there's a potential that we could see something similar here. However, if we see that the shorts stay above the average, then as I was talking about it on Bitcoin, this right here could end up being a lower high. So I don't want to go too much into the price action here. I just wanted to show you guys the COT data. You guys can see shorts are still above average, which is not confirming a bottom, and we're still 100% short. And I'm not even going to take a look at the longs here because obviously the longs are at 0. There's been no movement on the part of the long. So definitely very different than what we're seeing on Bitcoin, because on Bitcoin, these asset managers are heavily net long and their shorts have already gone below average, whereas on Ethereum, they're heavily net shorts and their shorts are staying above average. So the way I'm reading this is, even if we're going to see continuation to the upside in this market, then I would expect Bitcoin to outperform Ethereum. However, if we're going to see a down move in this market, then Ethereum is going to be outperforming Bitcoin to the downside. So that's how I'm reading this at the moment, guys. And to kind of confirm that, let's go ahead and take a look at the Ethereum BTC price chart. All right, guys, we are now looking at Ethereum BTC. And if you guys saw last week's forecast, you'll remember that it was on February 3rd right here, and I was calling for this to be the high on Ethereum BTC, and I was expecting a move to the downside. So I was wrong about that. We ended up making another higher high here, and then we finally started to see the move down. Now, yesterday there was a massive retracement here, retesting this weekly supply right here, but more importantly, if we look at it from a value area perspective, we can see that that was a retest of the previous week's value area high. And then we look at it from a daily perspective, that was also today was a retest of the previous day's value area high. And then we saw price finally give up the ghost. We went below the previous day's value, retested it as resistance, and now we went straight down below the 3-day open. And we are definitely bear trending on the daily. We are bear trending on the weekly right here, the weekly profile. And then we could also be bear trending on the 3-day, right? So we're bear trending on all these time frames right now. So definitely looking bearish for Ethereum BTC. Now, what could we potentially be targeting? So first thing, I'm looking at the previous month's value area low right here at about 0.0687. This is going to be an important area. And then we're looking at this zone, this level right here, which is this daily demand area. And then if that gets broken, then we are looking at this other daily demand down here. So we're looking at potential drops on Ethereum BTC from current prices. We're looking at about 2.5%, 2.6% to the previous month's value low. If we're looking at this daily demand, we're looking at about 5%. And then the other daily demand down here, we're looking at about 11%. So definitely expecting Ethereum to be underperforming against Bitcoin for the foreseeable future. So with that said, guys, now let's go ahead and take a look at the Ethereum USDT price. All right, guys, we are now looking at Ethereum USDT. And as you guys can see, since the last video, which was February 3rd right here, we saw price actually run up into the weekly supply here, and then it continued. So that was the low of that weekly supply. And then we continued all the way up into the open right here. So I'm going to get rid of this level right here. And now we are seeing resistance at this open, but it's not just that this is a weekly supply. If we go down into our 8-hour time frame, we can see that compared to Bitcoin, we have not even reached the previous quarter's value area low, because it is all the way up here. However, similarly to Bitcoin, we have actually reached the previous month's value area high, and we're seeing a rejection around this area. So it's going to be very important to see what the COT comes out as tomorrow, because if this thing stays bearish, guys, there's a potential for this to be a high and for us to see a continuation to the downside. Or if we start to see these longs start to increase and then the shorts continue to decrease, then this could, even if this keeps on dropping, this could very well be a retracement before the move to the upside. Now, when we look at the weekly profile, we can see that we're still bull trending, as we're still above the previous week's value area high, which is looking better than Ethereum BTC. And then when we go into our 3-day, we can see that we are within value on the 3 days. So we definitely do not want to see the 3-day value low get broken if we want to be bullish. And then we're looking at the daily, and you guys can see that we are seeing support. We almost hit the previous day's value low. So we're not bear trending yet on the day. We are consolidating at the moment within yesterday's value. So again, guys, this area right here is going to be very important just based off of the previous month's value area right here. So if we are able to break through that previous month's value area, then we're definitely looking at a move back up into this area right here where we have the quarterly and the yearly open. And if we look at it here, this area is also a 3-day supply. So I would actually merge those two candles right here. That would be my 3-day supply right here if we're able to break through the previous month's value area high. However, if we're unable to break through that, then we could potentially see price drop down into this daily demand down here. So that's going to be an important area. So in order for us to be able to either go down into that daily demand that I just mentioned, which I'm not sure where that level went. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so in order for us to go into that daily demand right here, we're going to have to pay attention to this 3-day profile. If we're able to break below that 3-day profile, then I would expect us to come down into here. However, if we're able to go back above the monthly value area high, then I'm expecting us to go back up into this area right here, as I mentioned, which is going to be our 3-day supply. So that's what I'm seeing on Ethereum. I'm actually going to mark this right here. Boom, that's the area. So that's what I got for you guys today on Ethereum, guys. Hopefully y'all got some value from this. If you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And as I said, if you're interested in interacting with us, interacting with other like-minded traders, there's going to be a link down below in the description for you to be able to join our Discord server, which is totally free, so you have no reason not to join. And also, if you're interested in getting access to all those different indicators that you guys saw me using, the volume profile, the COT, these opens right here, the USDT bias indicator that you guys saw on Bitcoin, and more, there's going to be a link down below to a free trial of our indicator suite, so you guys can go ahead and check that out for 7 days and see how that can improve your trading. So with that said, guys, that's going to be it for today, and I will see you all next week. Peace.